my biggest worry coming into this game was their strength, athleticism, quickness, and it proved to be the difference. I mean, I don't know that they had to run a play tonight. Our guys just, when guys got up in us, we panicked. And when things didn't go well to start, our attitude was terrible because we didn't have fight in us. So I don't know how much Arkansas got out of this. I know we got nothing out of it other than some humbling that we needed. But they get a win. But this was almost like a exhibition game for them, but not as tough because I saw their exhibitions. So just an old-fashioned punkin'. It's a combination. I mean, obviously, it started with what they were doing, but they did a great job on our pick and roll defense. I felt like, our pick and roll offense. I felt like I was very disappointed in my guards. They switched Thompson, and I don't know enough to say that he's a bad defender, but our guards should be able to get by Thompson. And then it creates situations for help. And then later in the game, when you're down 40, we decided that we want to get by somebody. But when Thompson jumped out early, we looked like he was the Incredible Hulk, and we were scared of him or something because he jumped out and we picked up the ball, and now we're into panic mode. Somebody run around Chase trying to get the ball because they're trying to deny versus us running offense where we get in the lane, they converge because they're very good at converging on the lane and trying to keep things out of the paint. So they converge, and now we kick. And what happened was, too, is early on, we have some guys that shoot 40, 45% that don't make shots early. And when they didn't make shots early, we stopped throwing them the ball. So we didn't have trust and faith in our teammate that the next time he'll make it. So, but obviously all the credit goes to them because they were physical. They did a good job of I think the best way to guard us is if you're going to switch a 5 on us, if he can do it, that would be the best way to guard us in a pick and roll because if he can come out there and jump out, you don't have to have any rotations. So tonight they didn't have to rotate at all. They stayed at home with our replaced guys. They stayed home with the wing shooters, and they guarded the pick and roll with a 1 and a 5. And early in the game, we rolled Wyatt into the post, and he got 2 quick buckets, but then he got 2 fouls. And our other guys, they're just not as good of finishers around the rim as Wyatt is. So when we rolled them in there, we bobbled some balls and didn't finish inside. So then when it's open again, we stop throwing it. So I thought the way they switched the pick and roll, it hurt us, and we didn't do a good job of attacking, getting downhill.
Arkansas had 6 players in double figures. After watching the exhibition game, were you surprised at how efficient they were moving the ball, sharing the ball? Their pace was better than it was against you.
Well, I think what hurt us initially is we were a reactive team. We were a very reactive team. So we came into the game saying Macon gets no open looks. The first time he touches the ball, he's got an open 3, and our guy's sitting 4 feet off of him. So you let a guy make his first one who's a shooter, and now he feels like, all right, now the next one he gets is wide open. So now we have to get out of our zone because our guys aren't getting to the zone. And the realistic thing is we're not big enough, strong enough to play them man-to-man for 40 minutes and be able to slow them down while doing it too. The reason why we wanted to go to the zone was to try to be in our 2-2-1, just slow them down and get to the zone, slow them down, play 20 seconds of zone offense and make them shoot a jump shot. And on the first pass to the wing, they shouldn't be open, and our guys were we were lazy. We're not either lazy or not understanding because we had a guy who's probably one of our best shooters who's sitting out this year. He was making all week. And he didn't get a shot off all week where there wasn't a hand in his face. It didn't mean he didn't make some, but he had a hand in his face. If Macon would have came out here and we challenged him and he shot 15 shots and we challenged him on 15 shots and he went 9 for 15, then I'll live with it. He shouldn't get a wide open 3 though. And I think his first 2 or 3 shots were wide open. So now it leads to the next thing. Okay, well, I'm going to stay home with him, so I'm not going to help and recover. I'm just going to stick at home with him. So now the driving lane's open. So it was I would say this whole game was a domino effect. We reacted to everything they did. They were the aggressors. They pushed the tempo. They got up in us and made us settle. This game went how they wanted it to go, and we tried to react to it versus be the proactive team.
Making and Buffer are two guys that kind of pushed the much, but what's your takeaway from both of them? Just not necessarily just tonight, but overall the talent.
Oh, on film they were scary. Like for me watching them, because we really paid attention to the end of the year when Barford went in there and started playing more point and was in the game playing 30-something minutes, and then what was scary when you watch the exhibitions is he was making threes. So, like, you know, you're watching him on film from last year and you're like, all right, well, maybe we can back up off of him and try to cut off the drive lane. Now he's making threes. So he's going to be a scary player for whoever lines up against him because he's so strong and he has that mentality of getting downhill, putting a shoulder in somebody so he can draw fouls. He can get downhill and finish. He can now shoot the three. So he's a tough guard. Macon is, you know, one of those guys where I'd say he just really, really skilled. And he can shoot the ball. He can shoot the pull up. He can put the ball down off the pick and roll. So he can do a lot of things. And I think I call him a heat check guy. Like if he hits one, he's gonna keep shooting them until like kind of that keep shooting until you miss. You remember the old NBA Jam when the ball got on fire and you just keep shooting, making? Yeah, that's him. And tonight we didn't make a miss, so the ball stayed on fire all night.